Here guys, Beast, back with some more Obviously content. So today we are doing a car dealership build. As you can see here, we just took some concrete slabs and we ran across the entirety of the Covenant after tearing the entire thing down, and we built the base platform. But anyway, so first things first, this is actually the least sped up of a build video I've had. This was actually one of the quickest builds I've done from the ground up before. As you can see here, at first we were going to just straight up start with the greenhouse doorways, and in the end it probably would have worked out better. But we ended up using some Institute glass here instead. I just like the Institute glass walls. I think they look very nice. I like it. I wish we would have used more of it. Honestly, I feel like I should have taken a little more time on designing the dealership itself, seeing as how that was most of the build. However, I still like how it turned out, and I think it turned out just fine. I really didn't want to sit there and spend a bazillion years on this. The Covenant is just a really small settlement, and once you go ahead and remove the base settlement, it's just not the biggest area to work with, and even then I had just added the cars mod, and I wanted to see all of the drivables there are, and it just seemed to make the most sense to put a dealership into the place. One thing I will say is, this place currently makes me 0 caps. I'm debating on using the Commonwealth Landlord and posting a rental notice for one set amount and having that amount be just the amount that it is of how much a day this place makes me. I think that's a fair thing to do. The whole point of my playthrough has been to make caps of everything I do. So I think it'd be fair if someone was to build an entire car dealership and rent out cars for them to make caps on it. There really is no way for me to actually have people come and rent the cars or purchase cars at this car dealership. However, I could use Commonwealth Landlord and just go ahead and place a rental notice down of, like, say, $400 a day or something light, just to show that the place is making me some sort of money. But then, I don't know for sure. I haven't decided 100% on it yet. It is an idea, because this place is a car dealership, and there are plenty of cars here that are allegedly being sold. I think I should be making money off of it. But as you can see here, we did end up using a lot of greenhouse components. I couldn't actually really find the top for the Institute things, and I wanted a clear ceiling. I couldn't even find the flat greenhouse top, for that matter, actually, which is really confusing because I thought for sure there was one. If I was to go back and do this again, I would probably make the dealership a little larger. I would also probably make it more of a 2-story dealership design. However, this did work. Once again, I wasn't too enthralled in doing this. I just happened to have the drivables of the Commonwealth, and I figured, why not do a dealership? I do like how the looks of this one did turn out. As you can see, though, we did put a Countach in the showroom. I figured that was probably the most expensive vehicle we had, and then of course we have these little side showrooms here. That's also a garage with the garage door here, showcasing a couple other little nice cars we do got around here. I thought about using, I think I have another mod that will allow me to place any pristine car, but it will be a non-functional one. I thought about using mostly non-functionable drivable cars. However, I did end up just using every single one of them is a drivable car. Sometimes the drivables mod can have the cars not like things when they're standing on platforms that have no solid space under them. But for the most part here, when I do load into the place, all of the cars are showing except for maybe one. There is one little spot in the platform, I think 2 actually. There's one where the workshop itself is, which I do believe there's no cars on top of anyway. And then there's this one area where I couldn't get a piece of concrete to place, so I just stuck a normal floor panel there. Cars do fall into that and glitch through that sometimes, but besides that, this is actually pretty good when it comes to the drivable cars staying where they're supposed to be, nothing bugging out too much. But as you can see here, this is just the kind of building process. We stuck a mega loader back here from the Institute with like an old scrap car. I figured this would be like how they get the cars and then they rebuild them and they sell them here. That's kind of the gist going on. I couldn't find a good car, and I didn't feel like looking too much. I couldn't find a nice pristine car, which I know there are, because there are explodable cars you can place in your settlement from CVC, but I didn't feel like looking too hard. And then as you can see here, we did begin to place the station wagons. We just wanted a color of each. I didn't actually place that ugly yellow looking one, which I kind of regret now, seeing as how most of the sports car models aren't pristine paint. There are wear and tear on them. As you can see here, once again, if I have not mentioned in a previous video, and I know I have, due to the amount of builds that I do on the channel and the fact that I like to get a video up once a day, sometimes 2 videos a day, things like that, I'm not able to be doing all these builds and going out and getting all the resources in the game. While I could, it would cause you from getting a video every single day to more like a video every couple months or something. And just, this is already a modded playthrough. We're already using Place Everywhere. There really is no reason and no extra joy to me, for sure, in going to get these resources. I have gotten a lot of these resources legitimately. I do not add anything like guns and such to my game. I will only add things like resources. I don't add caps. All of my caps are legitimate, but when it comes to the workshop building, I'm pretty much a creative player when it comes to this, which I think is completely fine due to the amount of things I am able to build out of it. My explanation for it lore-wise is that I have the backing of the Institute, and I'm happy and well okay with having the backing of the Institute and not having to go out and get workshop materials every time I want to do a workshop build video, you know what I'm saying? So, as you can see though, we use junk cars here around the entire thing as a fence. I felt it fit very, very nicely. Also, if y'all don't remember the original Covenant, and as you can see here, the Money Man, he's dealing with some things. He's just attacking random guards now. Honestly, I think that guy said, take one more step and you're dead. And the Money Man said, no, you're dead, and that was it. But, back to the video. Like I was saying, it's just so much better not to have to go get those resources every time I want to do a build. And I think y'all get more content out of it in the end. I will say that back corner there where we did place cars, honestly, I do feel like I should go back and maybe pull some of those cars out of there. There are too many there, and some of them do stick out the back of the wall, which does bother me quite a bit, but I didn't do anything about it in the video, and I don't even think I've done anything about it now to this day. As you can see here, this is just a little reception area for the person on us, and I did put a trader mat here, so once I get a settler in here, I will be able to assign them to that mat, and they will be running the car dealership, but I didn't want to do too much designing here. Honestly, at a car dealership, there's not much going on there. When you get in there, there's a computer, there's a desk, you talk to them, and they're like, oh yeah, and then sometimes there's a back office they take you to and convince you to pay way too much for a car. But besides that, it's pretty simple, so I wasn't going for anything extravagant or crazy with the actual dealership. I just wanted a place to put a bunch of cars down, and then also, you know, to have the thumbnail of all the cars. So we did run turrets around the entire settlement. You cannot say this place is not at least defensible. It does have plenty of defense. I do believe it's right around 800 like most of my settlements. This is just the simplest way when you have plenty of resources, of course, to create the best defense for any of your settlements is just run turrets around them. I will say on the dealership part of it with the glass, I think about going and removing those turrets or maybe setting them on the roof and not on the glass so that you can completely see the cars through the glass. However, I did not do that in this video. I was just trying to get some quick turrets down. That was the main goal here, and then of course we also had to wire it. I don't remember what we ended up doing for a power solution, but we did figure out something. Of course, first things first was placing every one of these turrets, which did take a considerable amount of time. This is 4 times the normal speed this would be played at. Do keep that in mind as you are watching these. Most of them are like 20 times, but this one's only 4 times, so this was only like a 40-minute in real-time build, not including the platform. I did not record any of building the platform. For things like building platforms that are literally just going to be a flat platform, it's pretty obvious what it is that I did there in order to get what's on the screen. All I did was build a bunch of concrete blocks right beside each other like it's Minecraft, and boom, I got a giant black platform. We are using all sorts of mods for our workshop. That's why we have the black concrete. It is just a black concrete slab. That's all it is. It's just the floor with the concrete, and it's painted black. It's just the painted black. And I think it's like CVC Workshop might even be what's adding that, but it might be a completely different mod. I have a ton of workshop mods. I just kind of went and selected all the good ones. So we do have tons. We don't have OC Decorator. That's the only one I don't actually use is OC Decorator, which most people do use. But I don't usually use an OC Decorator mod. I might install it and see how it is, but CVC has a lot of preset decorations that are a lot less of having to place every single item, which would just drive me absolutely crazy doing that. And then as you can see here, we ran the power lines here. We did run the power lines kind of directly through the settlement here, which I don't know. It's fine, I suppose. I think we stuck literally the power generator right here, right by this front door here, which is fine. Once again, I don't mind that. But this is what our power solution was, and as you can see there, it's 600 defense. It's all good. Luckily, we were able to scrap these wires without having to go into the command and disable them. Actually, I don't even know if we scrapped that. Anyway, but I do believe that is the end of the video. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and keep it beast mode. I am out. See yas.